Welcome back. Today we're going to be focusing on the lower back and the surrounding areas because I turned 30 last year and I also trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And not you find me sat at my desk. Sitting in this position for extended periods of time can still cause niggles no matter what you do. So coming into an all-fours position and starting with cat-cow. Really tuning into the floor of your spine here. So we're pushing the bum up to the sky, belly down, head up, chest up, inhale. Exhale, tuck the hips back up towards the sky, chin to chest. Going with the flow of your own breath here, not necessarily listening to my cues, and really focusing on the sensations in the body here. Thinking about moving each vertebrae and any sensations that you feel that's particular to you. And going a couple more times here, tuning into the breath and the movement of the spine. Then we're going to go with bird dog, so extending the opposite arm out to opposite leg. And here we want to really concentrate on strength throughout the whole of the posture. So squeezing the belly button towards the back of the spine and extending the legs and the arms out each side. Exhale, bringing the hands down, and inhale, extending them out. Inhale and exhale. Thinking that there's a glass on the back of your spine, so you really want to try and control the torso and just move from the legs and the arms here. We're going to be doing hip circles here, so making sure you're putting even pressure into the fingertips. And we're going to take the right leg out towards the sky, keeping the knee bent, and then taking the knee towards the back of the room, and then circling it back down to the mat. And taking this a couple more times with the breath, and really tuning into how the body's feeling here, and where you can feel any discomfort, and trying not to move the torso again here. And we're going to take it the other way, taking the knee out towards the back of the mat and bringing the knee round to the right hand side and back down to the mat again. And going a couple of times with the breath here. And taking it on the other side here. So same again, we're going to lift the left knee out towards the side, bringing it all the way to the point towards the back of the mat, and then bring it down towards the mat again. Taking a couple of circles here and using the breath, taking it slow, concentrating on just moving the hip joint. And switching directions so the knee goes towards the back of the mat and taking it out to the side and back to the mat again. Going a couple more times, really concentrating on the breath here. And when you're done, you're more than welcome to come to a seated position, or if you feel comfortable kneeling, then just pointing the fingers back towards the back of the mat and putting the palms onto the mat, feeling a stretch on the inside of the forearms. Just go into a position that feels comfortable for you, because we've been on our hands a little bit, and really stretching out the forearms. And then coming into downward facing dog, so pointing the fingers forwards and tucking your toes, pushing your bum up towards the sky. Making sure you've got a bend in the knees here if you feel tight on the back of your legs. Coming up onto your tiptoes and maybe pushing your bum towards the sky if you can, trying to get your chest towards your thighs. Shaking the head out or even paddling the feet out, so taking one heel to the floor and then the other. Feeling the stretch along the back of the legs, in the spine. Really putting pressure into all 10 fingers and pushing the ground away with the arms here. Taking some big deep breaths. Noticing the sensations in this position. And then we're going to start to take some spinal waves. So we're going to inhale, come all the way to plank. And then exhale, start to bend the knees again and push the bum up to the sky, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank and bending the knees, pushing the bum back, come back into downward facing dog. So these are spinal waves. They don't need to look like what I'm doing right now, but just do your best. So come into plank, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, push the bum back up to downward facing dog. Inhale, coming forwards, and exhale, pushing back. Noticing the sensations in your body. And then coming back to downward facing dog here. Same again, bending the knees if you need to. The heels don't need to be on the floor. And we're going to inhale the right leg to the sky, three-legged dog, opening up that hip, so bringing the heel towards the bum here and knee towards the sky, really pushing that knee towards the sky, pressure into the fingertips and even through the shoulders here. You might need a bend in that left leg. And then bringing that right knee to your chest and bring the right foot on the outside of the right hand here. Taking that left knee back, this might be the position that you're in, and you might need some blocks or some books underneath your hands. You can stay in this position if it feels comfortable for you, if that's enough, or if you want to come down onto your elbows, meet me there. Noticing the sensations in your body, in the inside of the left hip, the right hip, on the outside of the right hip. And just using the breath here to try and relax the muscles that feel tight. And then bringing the hands back to the floor, taking the hands either side of the right foot and really leaning into the stretch here, low lunge. And then we're going to take and straighten the right leg, forward fold. And then coming back to that lunge position, inhale, exhale, straighten that right leg, point the right toes, head to knee if you can, going where's possible for you. Inhale, coming forwards, pushing into the hips if that feels comfortable for you. Exhale, head down, straighten that leg. Inhale, come up, really going with the flow of your own breath here and noticing the sensations in your body. Only going where is comfortable for you, don't push too hard. Come and bring the left foot to the floor, so the left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Bringing the hands up off the floor and come into warrior one position. You can either take the hands up high, inhale, or you can bring them to heart center or bring them to your hips. The aim here is to have strength in the legs, so strengthen that back foot along the side of the back foot, and we're going to increase the arch, so you should feel the arch on the inside of the left leg and strength through the right leg here. And then exhale, taking the hands back down to the floor, three-legged dog on the right side here, and coming back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. Again, bending the knees, push the bum towards the sky. And we're going to inhale, left leg to the sky, bend that knee towards the sky here. Really trying to square the shoulders off with the floor and reach that knee to the sky. Take a deep breath. And exhale, bring that left knee towards the chest, left foot on the outside of the left hand here. Coming into like a lunge position, bringing that right knee down to the floor. Staying here if this is enough of a stretch for you. If you want to bring some blocks or books underneath your hands here to help elevate if things are too tight here for you. Taking some big deep breaths, noticing the sensations on the inside of the hip, the outside of the hip, the front of the right hip. And then bringing the elbows down if that's where you were before, or staying where you are. And just coming back to the breath here. Breathing into the areas that feel tight and try and relax those muscles on the exhale. And then bringing the hands to the floor and framing the left foot. Taking a low lunge here. And then exhale, straightening the leg and bringing the chest down towards that left leg. We're going to inhale, come back into the lunge, head up to the sky. Exhale, straighten that left leg and bow. Inhale, coming forwards to lunge. Exhale, taking it back, half split. Inhale, only going where it's comfortable for you. You don't have to be going as deep as I am. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, coming forwards. Come into warrior one on the left side. So taking that right heel down to the floor, taking the hands up all the way to the sky. It's making sure that the hips are square to the front of the mat. So maybe pulling that right hip forwards and pulling the left hip back. Strong through the legs here. Take a big deep breath. Strong through the core. If you need to bring your hands to heart center or the hips, go ahead. And exhale, take the hands all the way down to the floor, three-legged dog on the left side. And then slowly bringing that back down, come into walk the feet all the way to the top of the mat and come into ragdoll fold here. Need a bend in the knees here, so trying to get your belly towards the top of your thighs. And either placing the hands on your shins, on the floor, or grabbing hold of both elbows here. And swaying from side to side if that feels good for you, or you can stay still. Feel the stretch along the back of the legs, back of the hamstrings, the glutes, and the spine, just allowing the head to completely relax here. Just allow gravity to take your head towards the floor. Taking some big deep breaths. And just noticing the sensations in your body. And we're going to inhale, take the hands to the shins, straighten the back, halfway lift. And exhale, fold, tucking the chin to chest. Inhale again, pushing the hands onto the shins, extending the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, really trying to extend the crown away from the hips, and then slowly exhale, using your core to crunch the head towards the knees and tuck your chin here. And then taking your hands all the way to the floor and stepping back into downward facing dog again. Then we're going to take the right knee towards the wrist and taking that left leg back. Here we want to be strong through the legs, so being careful with your knee here. So if this feels uncomfortable, then come to a 90-90 position where you've got both legs in 90-90 position. We really want to be strong through the legs here. So I don't want you to just drop down and leave the hips on the floor here. I want you to use the strength in the legs. And then we're going to slowly bring the hands down to the floor, or bring the elbows down to the floor, wherever you are. If you want to bring your forehead to the floor, go ahead. Being careful of the knee in this position, just going where feels comfortable for you. Feel it opening in the glutes on the right side. And maybe feel a stretch on the front of the left hip. Taking some big deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale, allow the body to relax here. Breathing into any areas that feel tight and allowing them to relax on the exhale. And then slowly coming back up onto your hands, tucking the left back toe and coming back into downward facing dog. We're going to take the left knee towards the left wrist here, taking the right leg back. And again, either come into 90-90 position if you want to protect your knees, or coming strong into this position using the strength of both legs. Just some activation here, taking some breaths, feeling the strength, or any areas where you can feel this stretch. Holding it for a couple more seconds. And then slowly bringing the hands to the floor, either the elbows to the floor or the forehead to the floor. And starting to take some big deep breaths. Allowing the body to relax with each exhale. Noticing any sensations, whether either side of the body feels different. And tuning into your breath. Focusing on the inhale and the exhale. Coming onto the left hip and swinging that right leg all the way around so that we can come to a lying position. Bringing the feet to the floor, pointing the knees towards the sky, and come into some hip tilt. So this is the anterior and posterior pelvic tilt. And I just want you to get used to moving the hips back and forward. This can feel particularly delicious if you do have tight hips. And I just want you to get used to moving the spine in this way. It's very beneficial in some postures and even everyday life to tilt the bottom of the pelvis forward, because this means we're activating the glutes and the pelvic floor. And I think more often than not, if you sat down at your desk all day, you definitely don't tilt your pelvis in this way. And then once you've gone through a couple of those, taking the hips all the way to the sky, you don't need to lock your hands here. You can just place your hands on the floor. So pushing your hips all the way up, going to a bridge position. Really trying to press down through the feet, bringing the knees pushing towards each other so you're activating the legs. And then think about bringing the heels towards the shoulders so that you're activating the glutes and the hamstrings here. Taking some deep breaths. You're more than welcome to interlace your hands and come up onto your shoulders if that feels comfortable for you, otherwise stay where you are. And then releasing the hands, bringing the bum back down to the floor and just resting here, taking a few deep breaths. And bringing the knees into the chest and rocking from side to side if you want some relief from that posture. And then rocking up to a seated position here. And you don't need to take this posture. I'll give you an alternative. You can lay on your side. Use a strap or a belt to hook your foot. Pull your foot towards your bum instead of holding this position. If this position is far too uncomfortable for you, please don't take it. Protect your knees. We're going to bend the knee and bring the foot towards the bum. Take the flesh out from your calf and extend the opposite leg. So we're doing half hero pose. You can stay here if this feels like enough of a stretch for you, or if you want to come down onto your elbows, then go ahead. Or if you want to come all the way down and this feels comfortable for you, alternatively here, lean to your side and either using your hand or a strap or a belt, stretching the quad out here. So just taking some big deep breaths. This is an area where we'll get super tight and often a place that's neglected. So if this feels tight for you, then don't worry about it. Just go into a position that feels slightly challenging, but no pain. Taking some big deep breaths, noticing where you can feel the sensations in your body. And then just coming up slowly out of the posture, coming back onto the hands and releasing the leg and extending the legs, shaking them side to side here, releasing the tension. And then coming onto the opposite side, so bending the right knee or coming to still on your side and stretching that way. And then either coming onto your elbows, either staying on your hands, coming onto your elbows, or taking your back all the way down to the floor, or using any props as you need. Feeling the sensation on the front of the right leg here. Taking some big deep breaths, relaxing the body. Noticing any need to come out of the posture and try and keep using the breath. Inhale to the areas of tension and exhale, relax those areas. And then slowly releasing, so coming onto the hands, releasing the leg, and we're going to turn onto our front to start stretching out the front of the front line of the body. So taking the hands wider than the mat here, you don't have to go as deep as I'm going, so only come to a position that feels comfortable for you. Remembering to squeeze the muscles along the back line of the body to protect your spine and your lower back here. So inhale, we're going to take the head up to the sky, come into a cobra position. Exhale, forward fold. Pushing the feet into the mat, inhale, head up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, head up to the sky, a couple more times. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and exhale. Notice the sensations in your body. And then slowly coming back round to lay back on your back, and we're going to take a little quick side stretch. So taking the arms over towards the right hand side and the legs over to that side as well. If you want to increase the stretch, taking that left foot over the right foot here and grabbing onto the right wrist. Feel the stretch along the side of the body here. Take some deep breaths. And then taking it over to the other side. So hands and feet over to the left side, making a moon shape with your body. And right foot over the left leg to increase the stretch here. Take some breaths. Bringing your hands and legs back to center here. And we're going to extend the left leg out long, taking the right knee to the chest. Slowly taking that right knee over to the left side. Right hand goes out long, spinal twist. Taking some big deep breaths here. Trying to relax the body here. So breathing into the areas that feel tight. And exhale, release. Just allow the floor to take the weight of your body. If you want to increase the stretch, bringing the knee closer to the body. Or taking the knee further down if you want to decrease the stretch. And then bringing that right knee back into the chest for a squeeze and extending that right leg out long, bringing your left knee to your chest here. And then we're going to take that left knee over to the right side, extending that left hand out to the left side, looking over to the left hand if that's possible for you. Taking some big deep breaths. Feel the twist in the spine. Feel the movement of the breath in the stomach and the chest. Allow the body to relax, sink into the floor. And slowly releasing, bringing both knees to your chest here, taking some big deep breaths. And then if you want to take a happy baby, taking the knees out to the side, and either grabbing the shins or the outside of the feet. You're welcome to stay still here, just pushing the knees towards the armpits, or rocking from side to side, whichever feels good for you. Taking some big deep breaths, feel the spine push into the mat all the way along the spine here, and exhale. Feel the release in the hips here, and just allow the body to completely relax. Take a big deep breath here. Slowly release. Allow the legs to extend, feet out to the side. Shavasana. Arms facing the sky. Get into a comfortable position. If you need to use props here, go ahead. Maybe a pillow under the legs. Any blocks under the legs. Concentrate on the sensations of the body here. Relaxing all the muscles that you no longer need to use. Feeling the floor and the back of the body. Just allowing the body to completely relax and release here. Noticing any sensations in the body after today's practice. Releasing the hands, the shoulders, the jaw. Noticing if you feel any tension anywhere in the body. Taking some big deep breaths. Feeling the rise and fall of the chest and the stomach. Exhaling through the mouth. Taking 2 more big deep breaths into the stomach and the chest. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more big breath. And exhale. And then slowly bringing the knees into the chest here, giving yourself a big hug, rocking from side to side. Coming to lie on your side, which either side feels comfortable for you. And then coming up to a cross-leg seated position here. And I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Let me know in the comments or drop me a message if you have any questions, queries, or how you felt after the practice, or anything else that you would like me to cover within my yoga classes. And I really appreciate you watching this video and practicing with me today. I hope you found some relief from today's practice, and I'll see you on the next one.